25th and final season at the helm of the Braves, his final season to debate umpires, and his final regular season visit to Philadelphia. But before his exit, he would like one more opportunity to add on to his already well-spent time in Atlanta. Charlie Manuel has taken a different path to achievement, and in just his 6th season of steering the Phillies bus, he has found all the right roads to success. It started by first returning the franchise to the postseason for the first time in 14 years, only to follow it up with the ultimate ride 1 year later. After back-to-back trips to the Fall Classic, the next stop is a 4th straight division title. 2 classic managers and a much-anticipated Classic Series is next. There is no doubt a buzz in the air. Standing room only tickets went on sale earlier today, and all were purchased in very rapid time. And rally towels given out as everybody entered Citizens Bank Park tonight for what should be a playoff-style series between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. It's game 1 of a 3-game set here at sold-out Citizens Bank Park. And the Phillies 3 games up in the National League East, 89 wins, 61 losses. It's the highest over 500 since the 1993 season. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler and a whole bunch of our friends behind us. That's right. We are out here in Ashburn Alley. The buzz, well, you could feel it at 3 p.m. this afternoon. You can feel it right now, just minutes before game time. It's the Braves and the Phillies. It's a great rivalry, and there's a whole lot on the line.
Oh, there sure is, Tom. It's great when these two teams get together anytime, but especially right now for these games, what they mean. Not many teams have won the division title except the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves lately. You see the pennants the Phillies have? The Atlanta Braves with 16 division titles. 14 of them with Bobby Cox. The Phillies have 10. Charlie Manuel with the 3. World Championships, the Phillies 2. The Atlanta Braves 1. So the Phillies and the Braves, fun time.
Well, there's only 6 games left between these two teams during the regular season. And how about the pitching matchup that the Phillies will roll out there for the next 3 days? It starts tonight with Cole Hamels.
Well, there's a lot of youth out there right now for the Atlanta Braves. Look at these young kids. They had to scratch Jurgens tonight. They're bringing a young guy up, Brandon Beachy, tonight. These guys are all 24 years of age. And Mike Minor tomorrow night and Tommy Hanson on Wednesday. The Phillies with the big 3 lined up. Cole Hamels, Roy Halladay, and Roy Oswalt. And all 3 of these guys have really pitched well lately. Cole's last time out against the Florida Marlins about as good as you can be. 6 2/3 innings, 13 strikeouts, using his fastball, his changeup, his cutter. It was really hot down there in Florida the other night, so he kind of ran out of gas in the 7th inning. They had to come and get him, but this guy has just been tremendous all year. The Phillies in September are really, really good, and look what the big 3 has done. In 10 starts, they're 10-0. Their earned run average at 2.20, and no wonder they're winning a lot of games, Tommy.
Well, no wonder they're winning a lot of games, and it's such a big night. We've got the Fanatic out here at Ashburn Alley getting everybody ready to roll. We hope you're ready to roll at home. Everybody is certainly ready to roll here at Ashburn Alley. A gorgeous night for baseball. And how about Jason Worth? He's homered in each of the last 3 games. He'll be back in there again. We'll get to the lineups in the first pitch when we return. September start. It is a big game, a big series, and since it is, we thought we'd bring in Charlie Manuel to let us know what's going on with the ball club. So we'll send it down to Wheels, who's in the dugout.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot with Charlie Manuel down here. Just about ready to get started with a big series with the Atlanta Braves. What's it like getting these guys in your own ballpark like this?
I think it's big for us, Wheels. We got 12 games to play, of course, and this series will kick off those last 12. And tonight's a big game for us, and we play, as you know, day by day. And we got Cole Hamels going tonight, and I feel good about that. And hopefully we can give him some runs early, give him a lead, and let him work with it. And I think we're going to be okay. But we're now in what you call, every counting wins. I mean, it's very important for you to win games now. And like the more we can win, of course, the better off we are, and the more quicker we can achieve what like what we set out to do. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know we're ready.
All right, Tom, a lot of excitement down here in the dugout. Just about ready to go. Back to you.
All right, Wheels, thank you very much. Cole Hamels is just about ready to go, and the leadoff batter, Omar Infante, is ready as well for the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies 3 games up in the National League East as play gets underway today. A huge series of the first pitch, fastball for a strike, so we're underway. Hamels this year, he's been good. 31st start, 11-10, a 3.01 earned run average. Since the All-Star break, he's first in strikeouts, second in earned run average, and first in whip. And those are some impressive numbers. See the scouting report on Cole. Fastball is topped off at 95 over his last 15 or so starts. 8-5 in his career against the Braves. Last 4 starts overall, 4-0 with a 0.31 earned run average. He's allowed just an earned run in 28 2/3 innings during that time. And one of the keys for Cole has been that cutter, which he just showed. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Infante. Infante, a 28-year-old, was an all-star this year, hitting .337 with 7 homers and 43 RBIs. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infante, 26 career at-bats against Cole. In fact, there are 4 hitters in this lineup who have pretty decent numbers against Cole. Change up, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 1 for Cole Hamels. And here's the rest of the Braves starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Hayward, Prado, and Lee. Lee is the cleanup batter. Brian McCann, the catcher, bats 5th. Matt Diaz, the left fielder, hits 6th. And the bottom third of Alex Gonzalez, Melky Cabrera, and Brandon Beachy, who will make the start tonight for Atlanta. And Chris Wheeler rejoins us up here in the booth. A lot of energy in the ballpark right now, Wheels.
Oh, it's fun tonight, Tom. Great start there for Cole Hamels. This team walks a lot, walks more than any team in the league, so they're going to look at a lot of pitches, and that's what they try to do, is get the starter out of the game as quickly as possible, and you know they want to do that with the Phillies.
Want to know the count to Hayward. He chops one toward the hole, backhanded by Valdez, off balance throw, not in time. So an infield single for Jason Hayward, who we're told is much healthier now with his sore thumb than he was earlier this season when the Phillies faced the Braves.
This guy's unbelievable with his on-base percentage, and here he gets a legger right past Polanco. He can't do anything about it. He can run really well, and you see Valdez can't do anything either. Over 40% on base for a guy that big is just amazing, and it just gives you an idea of the problem. And he's 20 years old.
Oh, with 1 away, here's Martin Prado, a .309 hitter with 15 homers and 66 runs batted in.
What a year this guy has had. And, he's in the 3 hole that Chipper Jones was in for so long.
And he's playing third base now for Chipper Jones. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
It's a very different team than they started the year with. When you figure Derek Lee's on deck, they got Nate McLeod playing a lot. They have so many different players. And they've done a tremendous job of holding it all together and replacing guys that went down and guys that didn't produce.
It's kind of the same story with the Phillies. All the injuries that a team goes through during the course of a season, you need to be able to back up those players with other players. The Braves went a different route. They made some deals to help refurbish Bobby Cox's team. Phillies pulled from within in a lot of ways. 2-1 the count to Prado.
Well, in many ways, you know, the general managers really come into play to get through seasons anymore because you have to add. Frank Wren's done a great job for the Braves, and of course Ruben Amaro Jr. for the Phillies.
Prado has 3 home runs this year against the Phillies. He's hitting over 300. And he hits that one toward third. Could be 2. Bobbled momentarily for Polanco. There's 1, and there's 2. How about that? Utley hopped over the top of Hayward and was able to get a lot of that throw. It's an around the horn 5-4-3 double play. A great start for Cole Hamels and a real good start for the Phillies defense. The double play began by Polanco, and then Chase hopped out of the way and threw a strike. That takes us to the bottom of the first. The playoff atmosphere that's really been at Citizens Bank Park this entire year. They didn't score at the top of the first. Let's take a look at Charlie Manuel's lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Same lineup that we've seen the last few days. Victorino, Polanco, and Utley, followed by Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, and Raul Ibanez. And the bottom third of Carlos Ruiz, Wilson Valdez, and Cole Hamels. And they will face 24-year-old right-hander Brandon Beachy, who's about to make his major league debut. Those are his numbers in the minor leagues. And, Wheels, we understand that he throws in the low 90s and has a changeup and has a breaking ball to his repertoire.
Well, just watching him warm up, he threw changeup. His breaking ball was kind of a slur. Those are his minor league numbers. He's out of Kokomo, Indiana. And we'll see if he has a little adrenaline rush.
6'3", 215 pounds.
He was real wild with his fastball warming up. That could mean nothing. But a lot of times that means you're amped.
Well, that first fastball came in at 91 miles per hour. And it's 2-0 to Victorino.
What the Phillies have to do is just go up there in a recon, be patient, and just, see what this guy has and see if he can throw the ball over the plate with this big crowd. If he can, then you get after him another way.
Well, they said he works very quickly, which is the case with the first 3 pitches, and there's his first strike. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Karen Lewis of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, then Karen will win $100.
That pitch was low. That'll help him get settled down a little bit.
Jair Jurgens was scheduled to start tonight's ball game, but he has been plagued by a sore knee in his last couple of outings. And yesterday we found out that the Braves might make this switch, and they made it just several hours before the start of the ball game. 3-2 the count to Victorino. Placido Polanco waits on deck.
All fastballs. Brian McCann just trying to get him settled in.
And a fastball again. And a pop-up. Left side of the infield. The shortstop, Alex Gonzalez, settles under it. And one away. Well, Wheels, it's time to take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Nissan.
Well, obviously a huge series, a lot of emotions in this ballpark. The Phillies just need to stay focused and get the job done. A new guy out there, a new pitcher, his first major league appearance, and how will he react to this atmosphere? They think he's going to be just fine.
It's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. A little cool in the air, and a breeze coming in from center field.
There's the first non-fastball right there. Watching him warm up with his breaking ball, looked more like a curveball than a slider. We'll have to pay attention there, but that was a slow breaking ball, curveball.
Blanco takes a fastball for strike one.
How about this guy was down the instructional link, and then he's getting ready to go to the Arizona Fall League, and now he's here. It's just amazing the way you do things nowadays.
Well, the Braves had 6 different players down in instructional league who they said be prepared in case you're needed. Blanco sends it toward left center field. Moving over is Diaz, and he makes the sliding grab.
Wind knocked that down.
Sure did.
There's a lot of wind blowing in tonight. That ball yesterday is deep into the gap in left center field. I think the ball Jason Worth it can't go out in that same spot like yesterday. Look at the wind blowing in hard from left field, and we could see that from here. It looked like it was a parachute coming down, because it was driven into the alley off the bat and knocked down by the wind. And a good play by Diaz.
Diaz started back, and he had to circle back in.
Oh, yeah, he knew that thing was smoke when it was hit, and then the wind affected it.
So 2 outs, and here's Chase Utley. Beachy is out of Indiana Wesleyan College, which is an NAIA school. In college, he was a first baseman and a third baseman, and he pitched a little bit too. We asked a lot of folks, well, why wasn't he drafted? He was signed as a non-drafted free agent after he graduated in 2008, and they said, well, he had some shoulder problems. So that's why he went under the radar. But the Braves saw him, and they had a scout who liked him, and they signed him for $20,000, and he certainly had a meteoric rise through their system. He's fallen behind the first 3 hitters, but Phillies don't have a base runner yet. And a changeup over for a strike. It's 2-1.
About that. 2-0 changeup. He got it over. And that's McCann just trying to figure out, what can I do with this guy? And he just learned something there. But he wasn't afraid to go behind 3-0. That's amazing. The first inning do that.
Opposite way for Chase. Diaz on the run again, and the wind will keep it up for him. And he puts it away. So 1-2-3, bottom of the first for Brandon Beachy, making his major league debut. We go to the second. It's the Braves nothing and the Phillies nothing. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop thephillies.com shop. Derek Lee leads it off for the Braves here in the top of the second. Lee had a big day yesterday for the Braves and had a big series. He was 5 for 11 against the Mets. Scored 5 runs, drove in 4, and that's because he hit a grand slam.
On a 3-2 count.
One of the big pickups for Atlanta.
And he's really been struggling, though. I don't know that he's healthy. You see him run, watch games on TV. It really looks like he's laboring. He's had a lot of back problems this year.
Overall, he has 18 homers and 72 RBIs, hitting .267.
He's dangerous.
Since being brought over from the Cubs. 0-2 pitch to him. And he fouls it off. In Cole's last outing, he struck out 13 in 6 2/3 as the Phillies beat the Marlins 2-1. He had a really good fastball that night. And there's a cutter, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Derek Lee with 311 home runs for his career, 4 here at Citizens Bank Park. And he fights one off. During the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Derek Lee. And a changeup hit foul. Hamill, since the All-Star break, has struck out 95. That leads the National League. His earned run average since the break is 1.96, which is second only to Brett Myers. And a liner base hit for Derek Lee. That was a changeup that was just left up, and that's the second hit of the evening for the Braves. Now, Cole's been good since the break, but since the 20th of August, his earned run average is the lowest in baseball at 0.76.
Tom set a high changeup, and Derek Lee hits it hard and thankfully kept it in the ballpark, because those are the kind that will leave.
Here's Brian McCann. McCann 8 for 35 against the Phillies this year, and he scalds one to right. Jason Worth going back, and that one's off the top of the scoreboard. Jason will get to it, and Lee's being waved home. Utley backhands, and he'll keep McCann at second, but the Braves take the early lead. An RBI double by Brian McCann, his 75th RBI of the season.
Brian McCann loves a hit here. Tom mentioned some of the numbers, and Brian McCann in this ballpark has always been tough. He jumps right on a first ball fastball, almost hits it out of the ballpark. See, it hits up high on the wall. Lee, they weren't sure at first, then Snitker decided to send him, and the relay throw, Chase had to try and backhand it, really couldn't control it.
So he kept McCann over at second, and here's Diaz. Diaz plays a majority of the time against left-handed pitching. This year he's hitting .272 against lefties, and overall hitting .244.
Hits a lot of balls hard to right field. Tremendous power to right and right center. And he leaves the ballpark down in Atlanta regularly, and that's hard to do because that's deep out there.
Swinging a foul tip, and it's 1-2. Diaz missed time earlier this year with an infection to his right thumb. And you see the direction of his hits more to right than any other spot.
That's not surprising.
And he lines one right past Valdez into center field. A base hit for Diaz. McCann stops at third. And the Braves have runners on first and third with nobody out.
They're hitting those balls hard, too. There's nothing fluky about this. It looked like Valdez was screened a little bit, too, by Brian McCann, and I don't know if he saw that right away. Maybe we can tell on the outside of town from that angle. You know, you see him dive at the last second. Here it is again. No, he saw it. The ball was hooking a little bit, or slicing a little bit, and he couldn't get to it.
So the Braves, with a run already here in the second, have runners on first and third and nobody out.
Turn down, buddy.
Here's Alex Gonzalez, another one of the guys that Frank Wren brought over to help this team. And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Gonzalez is a tremendous defensive shortstop. Bounced around a lot because of injuries. And he's also been a really good clutch hitter throughout his career. Won a World Series game when he's with Florida with a home run. They will play a double play depth here and give up a run for 2 outs.
Overall, Gonzalez this year with 22 home runs, 85 runs batted in. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He's having trouble locating that cutter right now. Which Doobie talked about the elements down in Florida, how the wind was swirling a lot in Cole's last outing. But he still was able to get the cutter on the hands of the hitter. That's a good curveball right there. That may have surprised Gonzalez.
Yeah, he's swinging fastball here, and he gets a curveball. Can't hold up.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Alex Gonzalez. He's the 7th hitter. With Diaz over at first and McCann at third. Change up, swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Hamels. 1 away.
Yeah, good job by Cole after the curveball. You know, a totally different plane. Here comes a changeup down and away. Really fooled Gonzalez.
And that'll bring Melky Cabrera to the plate. Cabrera's grounded into 7 double plays this year. Overall hitting .257 with 4 home runs. He was part of the Yankees World Championship team last season. He was acquired by the Braves in the deal that sent Javier Vasquez to the Yankees this past offseason.
Really started slowly for the Braves this year and has picked it up like a lot of their players.
Chopper towards second. That could be 2. Utley has it. Flips to second for 1. Valdez over to first. A 4-6-3 double play. And Hamels is able to minimize the damage. Second double play of the ball game for the Phils. After 1.5, it's the Braves 1, the Phillies nothing, with Ryan Howard due to lead it off. Eagle Hugh Douglas and offensive lineman Winston Justice as they go over the plays that made the difference in the Eagles-Lions game yesterday. And who will lead the Eagles against the Jaguars? Eagles fans get more with Eagles Extra tonight at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, the Braves are taking a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second.
Great damage control, though, by Cole Hamels to just give up one run, a run in with nobody out, then first and third, nobody out, and then the strikeout and a double play. And that's really big at this point in the game. The Braves feel good about what they did there, but they also go back out on defense going, darn, we should have had more.
Because Hamels has been such a tough pitcher. I mean, that's only the second run he's allowed in his last 30 2/3 innings. So we go to the bottom of the second. Ryan Howard will lead it off against Brandon Beachy. Beachy worked a 1-2-3 first. He threw 13 pitches. He was behind all three hitters. And Ryan with a swing and a miss at the first offering, and it's 0-1.
13 pitches, as Tom said. There were 11 fastballs, 1 breaking ball, 1 changeup. So he just threw a lot of fastballs and got him out. Started Howard with a fastball.
Ryan was 3 for 9 in the series against the Nationals, and he scalds one down the right field line. That's a fair ball, and it's heading to the corner. Ryan's going to get to second at least, and that's where he'll stop. A leadoff double, and the Phils are in business here at the bottom of the second.
Well, that was a fastball. He got all over that one. First base umpire Jeff Kellogg down there showing it with a sign that the ball was in play. Here it is a fastball down the middle, and bang. Screams over the head of Derek Lee. In play. That guy reached for it and missed it, so that's why he said the ball was still in play.
So Ryan Howard is safe at second, safe and secure with New York life. Well, here's Jason Worth, and the rally towels are spinning around here at Citizens Bank Park. Rally towels tonight are compliments of the folks at Coke Zero. That all began back in 2007, those rally towels, and what a sight it was here at the ballpark.
Yeah, just getting warmed up a little bit now. They haven't done it for a while. Here's the way yesterday afternoon's game ended, and how dramatic was this? Fastball down the middle. You see Storen turn around, take a look. Jason Worth ready to celebrate. Wow, that was dramatic.
And he's ahead 1 ball and no strikes, and it's 2-0. Jason against the Washington Nationals, 6 for 13. He's homered in the last 3 ball games. 6 runs batted in. He scored 5 runs, and his average is up to 292.
Really nice if they could get him going right now, because some of the other guys are swinging pretty well.
2-0 the count to Jason. Around the outside corner at the knees, it's 2-1. So Carlson has a low strike zone tonight.
Missed his spot by a lot there, and so McCann move a lot. Normally you don't get the pitch, or a lot of times you won't get that, but Carlson stayed with it. It was a strike. Catcher has to figure it out. The hitters are wondering about the guy's movement. Well, so's McCann right now.
In the air to right center field. Let's see if Ryan Howard can tag. Hayward makes the catch. Howard tags, heads to third, and then stops. 1 away.
You really think he'd be able to get to third on a fly ball that deep, but they didn't want to take any chance there, I guess, because he's just not running very well. And that is a deep fly ball not to get to third base.
Now that's up to him too, right? It's his decision as to whether he should go or not, and he has to feel comfortable, I guess.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see Sam stop him.
Well, that'll bring Raul Ibanez to the plate. He's one of the guys Wheels was talking about. He's been red hot. He has hit in 4 straight, and during those 4 games, he scored 7 runs.
You saw that throw was cut off. It was going to take a cutoff and then a throw to get him. There's just no way Hayward was going to be able to get that ball to third base, without a couple hops. You wouldn't think.
Breaking ball that drops in for a strike, and it's 0-1.
You just wait and see, and hopefully that doesn't cost a run now, because your ground ball could have gotten you around a fly ball.
Raul 15 home runs and 75 runs batted in right now, and he takes a changeup outside. In the month of September, he has 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and he has scored 13 runs. And the Phillies as a team are first in the National League in homers in September, first in average, and second in on-base percentage.
It's really something considering the way Colorado's been hitting.
Another changeup.
Well, he likes his changeup all of a sudden, and you know that's very impressive when a young pitcher like come up and start throwing changeups and fooling hitters with them.
Breaking ball chopped softly to the right side. Howard goes to third, but there are 2 outs. Oh, 2 away, and they'll bring Carlos Ruiz to the plate. Well, the Chooch train has been moving pretty good over the last couple months. Carlos, over his last 44 games, hitting .338 and .347 here in the month of September. He's got a chance to drive in a run and tie this ball game up. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Backup slider. It looked like backup breaking ball right there. He saw where McCann caught it and where it was supposed to go. Okay, it started back towards him a little bit.
Another changeup, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Carlos. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, oh yeah, there are other games tonight in the National League. The Marlins shut out the Cards 4-0. Brad Davis hit a grand slam. That was the difference in that game.
And they had to go in there for a 1-game makeup. Did the Cardinals.
Nationals are leading the Astros 2-0 in the bottom of the second. Adam Dunn, a 2-run double. And a breaking ball lined into left field, a base hit. And Ruiz comes through again. An RBI, and Carlos will be at second and listen to the crowd.
Right, 2 out hits. That was enormous. Right there that they didn't waste, because you really thought that he should have had a run in this inning. It didn't have it, and then he hangs a breaking ball, and Carlos just nails it over the head of Prado for a double.
24th double of the year for Ruiz. It's a 1-1 game, and here's Wilson Valdez. And Valdez takes a fastball up. It's 1-0.
Valdez is playing him towards right center, really shallow with Melky Cabrera, the center fielder. Big gap in left center field. See this little bit of an overshift in the outfield there.
Two and out. Now first base is open and Cole Hamels is on deck.
Well, McCann looks, you know, he almost looks like he's pitching around him, but with a young pitcher, man, they got a lot of confidence.
I was going to say, yeah, now they're going to walk him. Yeah. They're going to walk him intentionally.
Yeah, because you have to think, I don't know if I can trust this guy to be able to throw 4 out of the strike zone, and if that's what I want him to do, I might as well just put him on. Veteran pitcher, different situation.
Bobby Cox decided for this series not to use his veteran pitchers like Tim Hudson and Derek Lowe. Bobby with 2,499 wins in his managerial career, a tremendous career. And when asked about, you know, making the switch, because they probably could have when the Phillies made the switch to have Hamels and Halladay and Oswalt go in this series, you know, Bobby said he just doesn't like to do it. He feels like every game is important. So Derek Lowe started this past weekend against the Mets, and Tim Hudson started this past weekend against the Mets.
And the Phillies really didn't do a lot of juggling when you think about it, because nobody pitched out of turn.
Right.
You know, they all pitch with their you know, with a normal rest or a little more.
1 ball and no strikes to Cole Hamels. And he takes one for a strike.
You know, there's that myth about in '64 that Gene Mauch pitched bunting and short in every game during that losing streak. Well, it didn't happen that way, but they did pitch on short rest several times. And, you know, you always look back on that. And all they were trying to do was just win the one game and snap that losing streak, and they couldn't do it.
Cole pops it up down the left field line. Diaz puts it away, and the side is retired. But the Phillies draw even. An RBI double by Carlos Ruiz. It's his 50th run batted in of the season, and it was a big one. He hit a hanger down the left field line. We go to the third, tied at 1. Section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, here's the question. What closer led the Phillies in saves in 89 and 90? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Those were not glory days.
No. Well, somebody still had to close some of those games.
And Terry Francona was dealing with a lot of problems in those days in that area. Or was that Bo's first year? Oh, 89 and 90. I'm thinking 99 and 2000.
I mean,
they were still not glory years.
A little bit.
Yeah, they were still not glory years. 89 and 90.
Brandon Beachy leads it off. 2 for 12 this year in the minors with a home run. And we told you he was a position player in college.
Yeah, that may have been Nick Leva.
Might have been.
Yeah, I think it was. All right, now we'll think about the pitcher.
That one just missed, and it's 1-2. Beachy in college played first base and third base. And they say he was a pretty good hitter. So he figures he's only a couple years removed from being a college hitter. So there's some muscle memory there. And there's a swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Hamels. Hey, represent the organization in the community and on the field by being a Phillies ball girl like Emily. You can submit a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered to the Phillies. Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention ball girl applicant. Now you must be 18 years old. Deadline for submissions is October 4th. Back to the top of the order. Here's Omar Infante. He struck out his first time.
I figure where the corners are right now. That's what Cole Hamels is thinking. Well, I missed away a little bit. No, I missed in this a little. No, okay.
Again, he just misses in. It's 2-0. These last 2 pitches, he wasn't missing by much. Comes back with a changeup. 3-0. Mark Carlson, who we thought had a low strike zone until that last pitch, he's behind the plate. Jeff Kellogg is the crew chief. He's at first. Larry Vanover's at second. And Jeff Nelson's around at third. 2-2 the count to Infante.
You just watch and see if the Braves do what they normally do, and that's work a lot of deep counts, foul a lot of pitches off, and they try to walk. They don't hit a ton of home runs. At least they haven't lately.
To second base, he was late on a fastball, and Chase throws out Infante. 2 outs. So 2 gone here in the third. And Jason Hayward is the batter, and you see the on-base percentage in the National League. Now the Phillies are .331, 33%, a little over that. In 5th place, the Braves lead with the Rockies at .341, but the Phillies do lead the National League in September.
We're talking about Hayward being over 40%.
He swings at the first pitch. That helps Cole out. And they throw him out. A 1-2-3 third for Cole Hamels. He's retired the last 5 batters. We've played 2.5. We go on to the bottom of the third, and the top of the order is due up for the Phils. This year, Lehigh Valley 58-86, 5th place in the North Division. Reading 3 games under 500. That's pretty good. Players go through the Reading Phil system. Clearwater 9 under 500. Of course, the Lakewood Blue Claws, they won the South Atlantic League Championship, and the Phillies won the Gulf Coast League Championship under Rolly DeArmas. So congratulations to Rolly. The minor league season is over with, so the general managers of 2 of the teams, Jeff Brown to the left in the blue Oxford and Scott Hunsinger to the right in the red Hawaiian shirt from the Reading Phillies. They're in town, getting a chance to take in this ball game. Those 2 guys do great jobs for the Reading Phillies and the Lakewood Blue Claws. Shane Victorino leads it off, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
And you would know what it's like to do their job.
Well, the guy in the blue shirt, Jeff Brown, who's the GM of the Lakewood Blue Claws, was an intern with the Trenton Thunder when I was with the Thunder back in '94, and then became a full-time employee there, worked his way up, and he is a great guy. And Scott Hunsinger I've known since '94, and just to keep things rolling in Reading after Chuck Domino is a difficult task, and he does an amazing job.
Yeah, Chuck was a long-time guy up at Reading and did a tremendous job there.
Those are 2 of my favorite people, Wheels. They're great at what they do.
Yeah, and you know how tough it is what they do.
Victorino popped out to short. His first time up, and he lines one into right field, a base hit. Hayward got to it quickly. Shane wouldn't have had a chance to get to. It's a leadoff single. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your participating Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDealer.com. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Xfinity, its TV, phone, and internet reinvented from Comcast. Placido Polanco is the hitter with a runner aboard. Phillies with 3 hits now against Brandon Beachy. Shane has stolen 33 bases.
And 2 of the hits on off-speed pitches. That was a changeup. And the other curveball that Carlos Ruiz hit for the double. Ryan Howard hit a fastball. They're getting a little better. Look at this guy now, second time around.
0-1 the count to Polanco.
Your buddies know they've been on the air. They're waving now. The cell phone.
The power of television.
Yeah, the cell phones are ringing, and they know that they were on.
Toss over.
Well, that's one thing that Victorino needs to do is, he's talking to him now about a balk down there to Kellogg. So what did I just say? Get him to throw over a couple times. You know, they haven't seen his move. See if he has quick feet. See if he steps off. See if he holds the ball. As many things as you can find out.
I didn't think he had any intention of throwing that pitch. He waited a long time.
Well, that was another method to hold a runner. Of course, you freeze him like that. I was looking to see if he had a slide step, and that was kind of in between. And it looks like he's much more comfortable in the windup than he is in the stretch. Like a lot of pitchers are, unless they're relief pitchers, although he was a relief pitcher at one time.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Polanco. And another toss over.
Now, so far, he does not have any kind of a move. That's going to threaten to pick a runner off. Now, whether he can do some things with deception, you don't always have to have a great move to hold runners on.
Victorino goes. Swing and a miss. The throw by McCann in the base path. Victorino got away from the tag, and he's safe. How about that slide? It looked like he spun his wheels again at first.
He did.
And was still able to avoid the tag by Gonzalez.
Derek Lee down there fixing the spot where he spun his wheels. He sees Gonzalez going out for the throw and does a great job of ducking under that tag. Tremendous slide.
Now Gonzalez is saying he's out of the base path, but as you see, he's nowhere near the 3 feet that would dictate you're out of the base path.
There he goes trying to get him, and then he scrambles back.
A looper down the right field line. Fair foul, a foul ball.
Great try by Polanco there with 2 strikes on him there to try and hit the ball to the right side, give himself up, and get that runner over to third base. Time of the year where, that home run yesterday was great. Tremendous way to win a game, but the way you win these games in September is this way. Little ball. And they didn't do it in the last inning, but they got away with it. And, every time you get a chance to get a runner to second with nobody out, you got to try and get them over and get them in the best you can. Give yourself up.
Little looper to left. Diaz started back, but he's going to have time to come in. And 1 out.
Threw him a change up there, and it sped his bat up. And that's why he pulled the ball.
The Majestic Clubhouse store in Citizens Bank Park is your one-stop shop for everything Phillies. Apparel, caps, novelties, DVDs, the Fanatic Attic, and much more. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6. And at all home games, make the Majestic Clubhouse store your year-round home for official Phillies merchandise.
Great job by a veteran catcher like McCann to go soft in that situation, because they got what they wanted. They wanted a ball hit to the left side, and the best way to do that, speed the guy's bat up by throwing an off-speed pitch. And it worked, because he's in a protection mode with 2 strikes, and if it was a strike, he got to swing.
Well, that'll leave it for Chase with 1 away. Chase lined out to left his first time up. And he takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Prado's well off the bag at third. You have a left-handed hitter up in Utley, another guy in Howard. Victorino, if he's going to run, he has to make it, and he knows that. And of course, McCann has a clear shot at it with a left-handed hitter up. Set up. Really ran a high fastball now.
He did.
2 outs.
So McCann gave the sign and then went up with his hand like that, and they intentionally threw it up there to see if he'd chase, and he did.
So 2 away, and Victorino's still at second.
See McCann holding the glove up and way out of the strike zone, and uncharacteristically swings a pitch not even close.
Ryan Howard doubled his first time up. It came around to score the tying run in the bottom of the second.
How about this? They're going to walk him. 3rd inning. Bobby Cox is not going to take any chances with Ryan Howard. Howard has killed the Braves over the years. He's one of those guys Bobby Cox will probably look back on and say, guys that have hurt my club the most, Ryan Howard was one of them.
Well, you think about the game last year when the Braves thought they were still in the race against the Phillies. And Ryan on a Sunday night hit those home runs against Javier Vasquez, who was red hot last year.
Yeah, he hit 2 that night.
Yeah. Think about the game here at Citizens Bank Park where he hit the 3 home runs.
That was off Tim Hudson.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to make Worth beat his young pitcher right now.
See Ryan, 34 home runs against the Braves, the active leader. Derek Lee's not going to move from 22 unless they count inter squad games or spring training ball games against the minor league team.
Well, he just took the pressure off his young pitcher by walking Ryan Howard there. Because if they wanted to be careful with him, you can get hurt that way. So he just said, let's put him on right away and forget about it.
Jason flied out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1.
Boy, their team really overshift him. So look how far Melky Cabrera is over in this area. And they give him a lot of room towards left center.
Gino Cadejia was the one who's aligning the defense.
Off reports from Bobby Wine.
Bobby was here at the beginning of this series, at the beginning of the last series against the Nationals.
Celebrating his birthday.
Looks like a little quick pitch from Beachy. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Braves trail the Phillies by 3 in the East, but they lead the wild card by 2.5 over the Padres, 3.5 over Colorado, and 8.5 over St. Louis. Opposite way for Jason Worth. Here comes Hayward, and he makes the grab. The ball just hung up there for the big right fielder, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left for the Phillies. We've completed 3. It's a 1-1 game. But did you know they also sell office furniture, cleaning supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee? For all your office needs, who but W.B. Mason? Oh, beautiful night here at Citizens Bank Park. Look at Ashburn Alley. We were out there tonight to do the Open And there were a lot of folks out there. There are a lot of folks out there now. The long line of standing room only tickets that were sold earlier today. Folks camped out in certain spots and haven't left those spots out in center field. And we begin the fourth. Gary Matthews settles in, and Martin Prado leads it off for the Braves.
You have to have a pretty good time out there.
It's great.
Kind of switching it up a little bit. Always good.
Sometimes you forget, Sarge, because we're up here in the booth all the time. Just you forget about all the activity around the park. And we have great camera folks that give us those shots. You get out there and you just sense the buzz that's surrounding the ballpark for a series like this. On the hands to Prado. Still goes a pretty good ways. And Jason Worth makes the catch. There's Ashburn Alley. Line for standing room only tickets, it's usually pretty long. Today, though, it was extra long, and there were folks playing games out there waiting for the tickets to go on sale.
It's a very important game. Playoff atmosphere.
Derek Lee takes a changeup outside. Well, there's the line. Look at that. It stretches all the way down to McFadden's. Folks brought their lawn chairs.
Yeah, there's an art to actually waiting for tickets these days. Just about everybody will bring that chair to be able to sit down.
And the games to pass time. Everybody can use their cell phone to play some games and keep busy too.
Good pitch on Derek Lee there. Fastball or cutter that was inside. Playing through a lot of injuries. His back's been hurt most of the year. Not a guy, however, that will take off games at this time in September.
Fouls a fastball back into the luxury suite level, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now they talk about him making that defense that much better in the infield, being able to corral a lot of errant throws. Soft hands he has at first base.
Swing and a miss and a changeup. Ruiz picks it up and one away. 4th strikeout for Hamels. That's 205 strikeouts for Cole this year.
Yeah, got this ball out of the zone. Changeup grip. Actually breaking ball, curveball.
It was a
grip.
curveball, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's throwing it a lot harder. He's thrown a couple of those already.
I said there was 1 out. There are 2 outs with Brian McCann coming up. McCann has an RBI double tonight. And a fastball for strike 1.
He's another one of those hitters, it seems. Every time we see him, he's getting hits against the fighting field. 276 average to date. Solid year. Usually does have that. Well, just about, though, everything is down this year. It's been more of a pitcher's type year this year.
0-2 the count to him. And it's a fly ball foul. A lot of the veteran Braves players were talking about the atmosphere here at the ballpark, and they were telling some of the younger players about it, talking about how it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. Billy Wagner was telling some of the younger players, he said, we told our guys it's going to be something you've never played in before. The fans are going to be intense from the time you step out onto the field. And it's 2-2 to McCann.
Well, not as noisy, however, as it usually is. But again, players that have not been around this atmosphere, and even though they have the reputation of winning with the Braves, they don't get the crowds.
Over toward first. That's a foul ball. Jason Hayward, one of those young players experiencing this for the first time.
So a fine rookie year for him. Just about in every offensive top 10 category. Home runs, RBIs, runs scored.
towering pop-up up the third baseline. Polanco battling the breeze, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 fourth inning. 8 in a row retired by Cole Hamels. We've played 3.5. Brian McCann and the Braves won, and the Phillies won. West.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Toyota. It's the Now's the Time sales event at your Toyota dealer. Hurry. Offer in soon. Oh, sold out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. It's the Braves won. The Phillies won. As we go to the bottom of the fourth. Now, in between innings, we understand that Brandon Beachy does something. Well, I guess some folks do this. He unties and then ties his shoes. It's the only superstition he says he has. But he does it after every inning he's out on the mound.
I like to see him doing that as he gets knocked out, maybe. See if he can go over there and retie those shoes. But, you know, everybody has a little different. Well, I know myself, I never stepped on the white line. I always jumped over it. A little superstitious about that. But throughout my career, never stepped on the line.
Never?
Always, ever, never. Well, unless I'm sliding in, and going across there, but going on to the field, no.
Raul Ibanez sends one the opposite way, deep down the left field line, slicing foul. Wow. So the count is no balls and 1 strike to Raul. Well, it's interesting, Sarge. Superstitions are such a big part of baseball. I mean, we see him with Turk Wendell all the time. He had a ton of superstitions.
Right. Used to brush his teeth a lot in the
sardine
dugout.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, that's false hustle. That's looking for attention right there when you're doing that. As relievers, you want to get guys out. That's how you want them to actually look at you.
Well, and you talked about not stepping on the lines, the first base line, the third base line. When I was a kid, they told us not to do it because it was too expensive to put more chalk down.
Oh, well, there's a lot of players, managers as well, that when they go out, they'll walk over the line, and same thing, coming back, go back over the line.
Brian Schneider, who when he catches for the Phillies, he always destroys the back of the box, the catcher's box. It's gone by the time he sits down and takes that first pitch.
Well, being superstitious, and as long as you're winning when that happens, you never mind.
Well, let's hope that the superstition for Brandon Beachy does not pay off tonight. That he loosens and ties his shoes one time and goes out there and the Phillies score a bunch of runs against him.
Well, I tell you, he does have a pretty hard breaking ball. Hasn't been throwing it over a lot. Fastball for me has been straight. A lot of movement, however, on that changeup. He's gone back to back at times, but the fastball relatively has been straight, somewhere between 91, 92 or so.
0-2 the count to Ibanez. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's that changeup and he throws 80-81.
Cole Hamels doesn't look like he's in any hurry to tie his shoes or untie his spikes. He is focused right now.
Oh, he has been.
Line drive caught by the second baseman Infante, and Ibanez hit that one right on the nose. So one away. Here's Carlos Ruiz, who drove in the tying run for the Phils in the second inning.
And he's doing it with 2 outs, too. I mean, that's how you judge players, whether or not they're able to drive in runs with 2 outs. Carlos has certainly done that. Not a lot of RBIs, but the RBIs, 50 does he has, I mean, it's been clutch. Here's a 2-out double here as he hits a breaking ball. That ball up in the zone. It's the one you want to swing at, the high breaking ball.
Change up low, 2-1. Peachy this year began the season in Double-A, was a relief pitcher, as we mentioned before. Then by the end, he became a starter. He was 3-1 with a 1.47 earned run average. Then up to Triple-A, where he was strictly a starter. He went 2-0 with a 2.17 earned run average. And a line drive down the left field line, that's going to hook foul. Boy, he is hitting everything hard.
There's that straight fastball, but again, not only does he have the confidence, he's hitting the ball to all fields. And check this out as he gets his foot down. Fastball, he just yanks it. Would have had the distance, provided it would have been fair. He knows that ball's foul, though, right away. Well, it makes it a little easier to hit when you haven't faced a pitcher that his fastball is straight. Well, you make the adjustment for the breaking ball, get that up in the zone, and you should be ready to go.
Checked his swing. They appeal. No swings. This is the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg. And it's 3-2. Three and 2 to Carlos with Wilson Valdez waiting on deck. Mentioned that Beachy was down in the instructional league, keeping his arm fresh. His last start was 16 days ago. Went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits and no runs, struck out 8. Fly ball into foul territory, slicing out of play, and thank goodness for the win.
Absolutely right, as the wind takes that ball away.
Nice catch by that gentleman right there. He just said, ouch, that hurts.
Yeah, that one was up high. Just imagine if they're low, the line drives.
Another foul ball.
You got to give him credit, though. He's been throwing strikes. He doesn't appear, Beachy, to be afraid at all. Got pretty good command on the mound.
And Carlos pops it up. And Beachy winds up winning the battle as Hayward makes the catch for the second out. That was a 10-pitch at-bat. Carlos has had a lot of those double-digit at-bats.
Yeah, that was just a pretty good pitch on the outside part of the plate. He pops it up. That's the one thing. When you hit that ball really good, you're thinking you should just handle any ball that is thrown up there. Good feeling to have.
Wilson Valdez was intentionally walked his first time up. And you see the distribution of outs for Beachy. On a windy night, 9 flyouts is not that bad of a thing. Good change up, but it's 1-1.
When he throws that ball, the inside change up, that ball moving inside. of times you want to throw the changeup where it's more on the outside part of the plate, so if the hitter hits it, it's less damage.
Outside, 3-1 to Valdez. That's hard to be your Valdez. I mean, obviously you're looking for a spot, but the pitcher's due up next. You don't want to swing a ball four.
Well, no, you don't. You want to look at a fastball. Not necessarily he's going to get one. It works out great as he gets a walk.
Oh, 2 outs. Cole Hamels will be the batter. Hey, if you're 30 years old or older, we've been talking about this. It's your chance of a lifetime from the 19th of January through the 23rd, 2011 in Clearwater, Florida. It's Phillies Fantasy Camp. There's only a handful of spots that are still available. And the package includes hotel accommodations, a uniform, so much more, and plenty of memories. 610-520-3400 for more information. Cole skies one to straightaway center. And Melky Cabrera takes a step back. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits. 1 man left for the Phils. We're through 4 here at Citizens Bank Park. It's a 1-1 game. Latest from Michael Vick and the Eagles on their victory against the Lions, and reports from Flyers training camp as they prepare for their first preseason matchup against the Devils. All this and more on Toyota Sports Night after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Cole Hamels has allowed a run through the first 4. He allowed a hit in the first, 3 in the second. And now he starts the 5th against Matt Diaz. Diaz singled his first time up. And a ground ball to the left side. Big hop for Valdez. All in one motion. 1 away.
Well, he has a lot of confidence in playing that shortstop. Knows he has a good arm. We talked about that. He's always had it. See how he comes in, just flips it right on the money. That's what the first baseman's like, where they don't have to kind of move and hitting a soft throw.
Yeah, they kind of appreciate that.
Oh, definitely.
Wilson playing short again for Jimmy Rollins, who continued to rehab here in Philadelphia from that strained hamstring. Took batting practice again today as Gonzalez pulls one down the left field line. That'll be a double for Alex Gonzalez. It's the first hit for the Braves since the second.
Well, going up there looking for that first pitch there. Ball out over the plate. He pulls it right down the line there. Automatic double. when it goes down just about any of the lines, left field or right field.
He seems so disgusted with himself.
Yeah, that's because he didn't get the hit the first time up with men on base.
So he's sitting there angry at himself.
Yeah.
Angry at himself because of his last step out when he struck out.
Yep. Thinking that I should have drove in those runs. Struck him out on a changeup, however.
Here's Cabrera. He grounded it to a double play his last time up, but it's 0-2. It's like he's yelling at himself the entire time he's going to second.
Yeah.
You been there?
Been there, done that. You know, you want those hits when there's men in scoring position.
I guess that's what makes a ball player successful.
Well, I mean, you think about those situations, you know, especially if you're a guy that you really feel that you can hit.
Inside, 1-2. And a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Ruiz. That's the 5th strikeout for Cole. 2 gone here in the 5th.
It's just a good pitch. Difficult pitch to hit. See, that ball will be down kind of wide. Actually, a cut on him inside. He's looking for the ball away.
Here's Beachy, who struck out his first time up at his first major league at bat. And he takes a changeup for a ball. It's 1-0.
He kind of sets up like he knows what he's doing hitting wise.
Well, we mentioned he was a hitter in college. First baseman to the third baseman, and he's not too far removed from that.
Well, again, a lot of times those guys are moved from those positions at third and first because that Uncle Charlie, the curveball, starts coming.
Lord Charles.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
That's a good pitch.
That's a really good pitch.
Tell you, Mark's been squeezing him behind the plate tonight, meaning not getting those pitches that have been on the corners.
Cole had a great quote about that because he, you know, last year it was obviously well publicized that he would get upset when there were certain mistakes or certain bad calls. He said, "I've discovered that in baseball, a pitcher can only get a sign, accept it, and then throw the pitch." Well, here comes that pitch. It's a little low, 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 6 strikeouts for Hamels. He leaves one in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Cole Hamels using the changeup with a 3-2 count to pick up strikeout number 6 and taking a walk off the mound. When we return to the bottom of the 5th, it'll be the top of the order. Shane Victorino, Placido Polanco, and Chase Utley. focusing on what was going on the field. Well, Jimmy Rollins just made him laugh, so he was getting a pretty good belly laugh as we came back. And look what the starters have done tonight. Both have been very good. Beachy's walked 3. 2 are intentional. He's allowed 3 hits in a run. Cole has allowed 5 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. So Brandon Beachy making his major league debut. He's been pretty good in this atmosphere and in limiting the Phillies to just a run on 3 hits. And Sarge, as Victorino stands in, we talk about this atmosphere. It's not a playoff game, but when you're playing September ball games that feel like a playoff game, that's what it's all about.
Well, it is all about that, and you're going to have the same type of butterflies, especially when you have that full house and you're trying to catch that first place team. You know, obviously right now, more pressure on the Atlanta Braves for the Fighting Phils. They just want to continue to do what they have been, and that is to win the series. If you end up sweeping, then that's just a plus, like they did against the Nationals, and coming back in really good fashion.
Victorino lines one to right. Hayward is there, and he dropped the ball. It went off the edge of his glove, and it rolls to the warning track. Victorino's rolling around second, going to third, and he's there standing. What a break for the Phillies.
Well, you can see Hayward doing a little gesture with his hand, meaning that the ball was a knuckleball that was out there. Well, that's a play, however, that an outfielder should make. He was in pretty good position, but it started knuckling on him, and he actually never got there to the ball. See that ball coming off there? Watch him. Kicked him right into gear as he keeps running. He's going to get to third with no slide.
Well, it's an error all the way. The Phillies, they don't care. There's a runner 90 feet away with nobody out.
Got to capitalize on them.
Here's Polanco with the corners in. The middle infielder's back, and it's 1-0.
Well, that's what you want to do, too, Thomas. You want to take the umpires out of the equation, meaning just score so many runs, and it doesn't matter kind of what calls that they're making, whether or not it's with the pitcher or on the bases. You got to pick up the runners, though, in these kind of situations.
Polanco pulls it towards short on one hop. Victorino hesitated and almost cost him. But he scores standing. Gonzalez thought about throwing home, and the Phillies lead it 2-1.
Boy, might have had a play at home. Victorino on that play when that ball is headed up the middle, rather than a shortstop or second baseman, you're automatically going unless he thought maybe the ball was going to be caught. But take a look at Victorino there, and you screen on the bottom. He hesitated. Gonzalez said, well, I better go on and get the sure out.
So the Phillies take the lead as Victorino scores his 82nd run of the year. And here's Chase with 1 out. And a breaking ball drops in for strike 1. Gonzalez has a decent arm. Not happy about it. Jason Hayward dropped the ball the Victorino hit that led to the run. He's probably not happy about it either.
Oh, no. No way.
Well, he tied Chase up, and that'll be back in the seats. It's 0-2. That's what we've been saying the last few days. Games like this, you have to limit the mistakes.
Well, you do, and also capitalize on mistakes when you're the opposition. Tell you though, he still made a pretty good pitch on the outside part of the plate to get that ground ball.
Oh, to the count to Chase. Back toward the middle. That'll be a base hit. Chase saw that fastball the whole way. McCann wanted it a little farther outside. And Chase is aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, not trying to the ball at all. That time took exactly what the pitcher gave him.
Bobby Cox is deciding. He's got a lefty loosening up, and here he comes.
He's going to let him leave on a positive note. Beachy has pitched pretty good, and the Braves have a stellar bullpen.
Eric O'Flaherty is the left-hander. He was loosening up, and he's heading down the stairs with the left-handed hitting Ryan Howard in the on-deck circle. So that's it for the rookie Brandon Beachy. He goes 4 to third. He's allowed 2 runs, but the runner at first is his responsibility. And we've got an AT&T call to the bullpen. It's our first call of the night. The Phillies lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. His line is not done yet. Phillies lead it 2-1 as we're in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. This is the big play of the inning. A line drive off the bat of Shane Victorino. Jason Hayward he just botched.
Yeah, he got to the side of it and the ball kept knuckling, but actually the ball was going away from him a little bit. Just didn't play it the way he should have.
So now Eric O'Flaherty is on for the Braves. He's had a good year. Lefties are hitting .234 against him. 56th game. He's 3-2. A 2.47 earned run average. The Braves bullpen statistically is the second best in the National League behind the Padres. Braves bullpen has an earned run average of 3.02. It's because of O'Flaherty and Peter Moylan, who's loosening up, and Billy Wagner has been lights out at the back end of that bullpen for the Braves. Ryan Howard is the hitter. And Howard takes one inside. It's 1-0.
Bobby Cox knows how important that first game of a series is for your ball club. And it will relax your ball club if you can win that first game. And Fighting Phils are doing great at that since they've been back in this Eastern Division.
Phillies have torn up the Eastern Division over the last dozen or so games. See Ryan's numbers against lefties. They've won 8 straight series against the East. They've won 7 consecutive games against the Eastern Division. There goes Utley. Pitches outside. The throw to second. Not in time. And it gets away from the second baseman. Over to third goes Utley. He'll take the turn and stop there. I should say it got away from Prado. He's the third baseman playing over there on the shift. A stolen base and an error.
Well, you almost feel, too, when Chase steals a bag that he's almost going to go to third, he's well aware of the shift. So take a look at it. He gets an excellent jump. You see where that throw is. Throw kind of goes right to the side. He's got to come up and catch that ball if you're not going to be able to get that runner out. See right there? He could have come up to catch the ball. Utley's off to the races and getting to third base.
Now the infield is in with a runner at third. And it's 3-1 to Howard. Well, Prado, the third baseman, normally a second baseman. I agree with you, Sarge. The error probably should go to him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad throw if he just goes and catches the ball. You know, Chase was already into his slide. He's got to make him get the ball up. This is one of those times that you want to make him get the ball up, and especially that breaking ball. And that was a ball that he swung at 3-1.
Ball 4, and Howard's aboard. Nice job by Ryan. First and third, and let's see if that's it for O'Flaherty.
Well,
Boylan's loosening up.
You would almost think so, especially the way that Jason Worth hits left-handed pitchers. Not as good this year as he has been, but in the past, he's just nailed them. Now he wants to do the same thing. Got to get that ball up and want to get it out in that outfield deep somewhere if you don't get that base hit.
You surprised they're not going to get Moylan here?
Yes, I am.
Runners on first and third. Down and away, 1 ball and no strikes.
Guys got to remember pressure on the pitcher to be able to throw a strike, and a quality strike.
Two and up. Chase is over at third. A single, a stolen base, and an error. Ryan Howard's at first. He walked. Phillies have scored a run already in the inning. And looking for a little more. Good changeup. And it's 2-1. That may have been ball 3.
Yeah, not being disciplined on that. A little bit too anxious for me to hit. No, you're 2-0. Again, you can look at what you want to look at to be able to hit it. Preferably something hard. You see his balance? He's at his best when he has good balance at the plate. And recognize when pitchers don't want to throw to you.
With a lefty on deck.
That's exactly right. So again, not going to be pumping a fastball just in at you. And if he does, it's going to be really in or on the outside part of the plate. And if it's outside, I think he'll probably throw a changeup.
Well, he got the fastball, and it wasn't in a bad spot.
Yeah, not a bad spot, but the swing was going the other way as if he wanted to pull.
Jason, 4 RBIs on this homestand, trying to make it 5. Toss over to first.
And anytime off-speed pitch, you want it to be up in the zone. Jason vulnerable to that hard slider that he throws. Don't think, however, that Ryan Howard will be trying to leave first base.
Hold, foul. Just past Utley, just past the third base bag.
Well, he came back in there with another fastball. A little surprising. Hard to get a fastball, but you see he hit that off the end of the bat. Want to stay through the ball if you can. Stay up the middle.
Outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks by O'Flaherty. And here comes Raul. And here come those rally towels. Bobby Cox decided to stay with O'Flaherty against the righty Worth, and now with the bases loaded, he has the lefty-lefty matchup. Roger McDowell is pitching coach. What a job he's done.
Now, those rally towels, too, I mean, they only affect those infielders on those ground balls. It becomes difficult to see.
Self-defense there.
Yeah, it sure was. That was a ball. Doesn't bother the fielders that are in the outfield, however, at all. Jimmy Rollins talked about that today on how difficult it is to see the ball in the infield when you have the rally towels, because you're seeing mostly white.
And it's 0-2 to Raul. Those rally towels tonight, compliments to the folks at Coke Zero. Rest of the home games, the Phils will have those rally towels and hopefully a fresh batch in the postseason.
Well, that would be nice.
This is a big spot in the game. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Yankees have a 2-0 lead over the Rays at the top of the 5th. Those two are battling for the top spot in the East. The Yankees lead the division by half a game. Red Sox 7 back. They still have a little daylight. 6.5 out of the wild card. Chopper toward shortstop. Backheaded by Gonzalez. Off balance throw. In time to get Ibanez, but a run scores. And the Phillies lead it 3-1.
Boy, that's big. You'll trade a ground out for that any day of the week. As you see, he gets high fives and coming in. Hitting that in a spot very difficult to turn a double play. Gonzalez, knowing that, only play he had was at first base. Does a good job in putting that ball in play. That's what you want to do. He had 2 strikes on him. See that good arm there by Gonzalez. Good pick, however, by Derek Lee. Chase Hudson coming in your pitcher.
So Bobby Cox is out to the mound again. He'll make another pitching change. The lefty, Eric O'Flaherty, is done. And now the righty, Peter Moylan, is coming in. So another pitching change. Phils have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. They've already seen 3 pitchers in this inning. Peter Moylan is the 3rd. Here's the 77th ball game for Moylan. What a workhorse. 6-2, a 3.12 earned run average. And he's on to face Carlos Ruiz. Brandon Beachy started the ball game and started the inning. And then Eric O'Flaherty, who faced 3 batters, walked 2, allowed a ground out that resulted in an RBI for Raul Ibanez. And now it's Peter Moylan. Phillies lead it 3-1. They lead the division by 3 games with 6 to play against Atlanta. And Sarge, game 1 is important for any series, and it's probably important for this matchup because there are 6 games left between these 2 teams, and everybody's wondering, well, who has the momentum? Did the Phillies get it back because of the home run by Jason Worth? Did the Braves have a little of it because they swept the Mets? It'd be nice to get a victory here in game 1.
It would be great. The number 1 game, or your first game in the series, I should say, always the most important, but what it does is it backs their backs against the wall, the Atlanta Braves, that much more when you lose that first ball game, and then they have more pressure coming in on that second ball game.
Well, and the Phillies, as we've mentioned, have won 7 straight. They've had a very good month of September. The Braves have had an up and down month of September, but they did sweep the Mets to start this road trip. So here's Carlos Ruiz, 1 for 2. 1 for 2 with an RBI double. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Those are those inside pitches that Cole Hamels wants. You start him on the inside part of the plate, and they go just off the plate a little bit. What a great average there. Runners in scoring position.
Now Boylan wants McCann to run through the sides again.
He's got that frisbee slider that he throws. He starts it at the hitter's hip to go to the outside part of the plate. He'll start it over the plate and have it break off the plate toward the outside.
And there it is. Ruiz is a strikeout victim. So the Phillies get 2, they leave 2. We've played 5 here at Citizens Bank Park, and the Phils are on top 3-1. Determined and astonishing is just the beginning of the ways to describe their performances. Like the triangle, visitors have been approaching with caution. And that unknown is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. September's been unbelievable for the Phils as a team, but how about the big 3? Cole Hamels, Roy Oswalt, and Roy Halladay combined 10-0 in September with a 2.20 earned run average.
Wow. That's getting the job done. And right where you need to, at the top where it starts.
Roy Halladay will go tomorrow here at Citizens Bank Park. Sarge, since the trade for Roy Oswalt, Hamels, Oswalt, and Halladay are combined 18-5. As Infante lines it to fairly deep right. And Jason Worth on the warning track puts it away. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order, and Cole Hamels has done it twice tonight, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. There's Jason Hayward is 1 for 2. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, this is when you want to try and atone as a hitter when you've made an error. Started an inning that wasn't so favorable for the Atlanta Braves. Good pitch, however, by Cole Hamels.
Hayward, 402 on base percentage. The list of 20-year-olds that he's along with. That graphic was up pretty quick, but I saw Jimmy Fox. That's pretty good. A-Rod, Mel Ott, Ted Williams. What do they all have in common? Well, 4 of the 6 are already Hall of Famers.
Oh. He does have a bit of a long swing. That's where you want to try and pitch hitters that have a long swing up and in. So he kind of backed off the plate just a little bit.
And they try to get him to go fishing with a curve. And it's 1-2. Martin Prado on deck. Just not buying.
Pitch there might have been a little bit inside. Saw at the last minute that Ruiz kind of pulled that ball in a little bit.
And now it's 3-2 to Hayward. He just doesn't give in.
Take a look at it and see exactly where it is. See how that ball breaking in and could have been called a strike, but it appeared to be inside.
3-2 the count to Hayward. And ball 4, so he's aboard with 1 away. Cole barking at himself there a little bit.
Yeah, he knows that he wants to make him hit to get on, and not only that, he was ahead of him in the count. They just tried to nibble.
That's the first walk issued by Cole tonight. Only the 7th this month. And he's a little high with that first pitch to Prado.
Wants to find the zone there. This is a great time for a shutdown inning. After you scored, you shut down the opposition.
Cole, 83% of the time, he shuts down the opposition after the Phillies score. 10% better than the average in the National League. Sarge, we have stats on everything.
Boy, I'll say.
In the air to left field. That's deep. And that one is foul.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
Man, did that hook and hook in a hurry.
I got to tell you, I thought because of the way the wind was blowing now a little bit almost straight away that it was going to keep that ball fair. He had plenty of distance. Just a matter of whether or not it was going to go foul or not. And you can see that ball that it is foul. Don't know if you want to keep messing around on that inside part of the plate.
They go outside, hit sharply to second. Utley scoops it up. There's one. There's two. Third double play of the night for the Phillies. Boy, that's precision by the middle infielders. It began with Utley making a nice play, and it culminated with a strong throw again by Wilson Valdez. Look at this shot by Prado. Hit sharply toward the hole. Utley to his left sets himself and fires. And then Valdez, who has arguably the best arm of any shortstop right now in the National League, he took care of the end result. By AT&T, rethink possible. Buy your Quality Plus Ford stores and by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEF-NOW. Last of the sixth, Phillies have capitalized tonight on a couple of errors by the Braves. But they've also played some really good defense. 3 double plays tonight, Sarge.
Oh, boy, and you need those, too, when you're playing against an opponent like the Atlanta Braves. They don't usually make a lot of mistakes, but when you do, they got to capitalize on them. Those hard hit balls and those double plays, pitcher's best friend.
Well, Wilson Valdez leads it off for the Phillies. It'll be Valdez, Hamels, and then the top of the order. It's not a bad idea.
Great idea. Now, if he gets on, then you got Cole Hamels that can bunt him over, then get him back to the bench to get rest.
Got the outside corner. Valdez didn't think so, and it's 0-2.
He's difficult to hit from the right side because he drops down and his ball comes back a lot toward that inside part of the plate on a right-handed batter. Now he also has that slider, so you really got to stay in there on him from that right side.
0-2 the count to Valdez. He got a hanger up a little bit. He shoots it to right. 1 away. So 1 gone, and here's Cole Hamels. Sarge, we showed Bobby Cox's numbers before. 2,499 wins for Bobby Cox. And this is his last year as the manager of the Braves. He's been honored in just about every city he's gone to this year, with the exception of Florida. And he has left a pretty lasting legacy around the National League, around Major League Baseball.
Well, just a good guy, good manager. He was my manager when I played with the Atlanta Braves. When things didn't go right, he didn't mind going out and protecting your back out there on the field.
Right back to the box. Moylan throws out Hamels. 2 outs.
Not only that, though, Tom, he's had 9 players, and some of those players were coaches that have become managers. Mr. Williams being the first manager that took over for him in Toronto, but that's saying something that you get picked by being close to Bobby Cox because he's such a good manager. They're thinking maybe those coaches, some of that is rubbed off on them, so they don't mind them running their particular team, and that has a lot to say about a Bobby Cox.
Jimmy Williams not only managed the Blue Jays, but also was Bobby's one of his coaches in Atlanta again after his days were done as a manager of the Jays. Well, one of his pupils, Freddie Gonzalez, who was the manager for the Marlins, was fired this year. A lot of folks think that he might be Bobby Cox's successor.
Well, he did not want to even interview for the job with the Cubs.
Shane takes one for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Cito Gaston is another one. End up doing pretty well there in Toronto.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was he his hitting coach when he was with the Blue Jays?
He was a hitting coach, for sure, in the very beginning, and then took over again as that manager after Williams had left.
Well, Terry Pendleton, who is Bobby Cox's hitting coach, wonderful guy, and a lot of folks think that he'll be a major league manager at some point.
Well, interviewed him before, and he would like it if that opportunity came about.
Off the plate, up the first base line. Ooh, that's a fair ball. It hits something and then shot right over the bag. And Victorino's retired by Derek Lee. Phillies go down in order here in the 6th. We go to the 7th in a 2-run game. Well, if fall starts now, it's a great feeling for the Phillies because they lead it 3-1 as we go to the top of the 7th. Cole Hamels is about ready to face Derek Lee, Brian McCann, and Matt Diaz. Cole has scattered 5 hits over the first 6 innings, and he delivers a fastball for strike 1. Cole's fastball has been around 90, 91, 92 for most of the night.
Yeah, he's topped out at 94.
And Derek Lee has his second hit of the evening. That was a curve that he hit off the end of the bat. So he's 2 for 3.
Well, it's been a tough, hard-fought game, just the way you thought it would be when these two teams get together for what's at stake. And Brian McCann knocked in the 1 run. Could have been worse than that inning for Cole Hamels. Pitched out of a lot of trouble. Carlos Ruiz with an RBI double. Beachy, Brandon Beachy, the young right-hander, he did a pretty good job. He hung in there and got outs and, you know, a couple unearned runs off him of the 3. And Cole Hamels has been very good.
Hamels begins the 7th inning with a base runner, and now Brian McCann, who's 1 for 2. And that one misses outside. It's 1-0. The threesome of Hamels, Halladay, and Oswalt have now combined to go at least 6 innings in their last 17 combined starts. That's why the bullpen has the least amount of innings in the National League.
And one of the reasons why the Phillies have been so good. Because they're not going 6 innings, they're quality innings. You can go 6 innings, give up a bunch of runs.
He's just not getting the corners tonight. 1 run tonight, 1 run in his last outing against the Marlins. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to McCann. Hey, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Brian McCann with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. To left field. Playable for Raul Ibanez. And that's the first out.
Shot by Cole, stayed away from him there. The wind's blowing in a ton from left field. So a left-handed hitter, it'd be tough for a right-handed hitter if you hit it high. And a left-handed hitter, really tough to hit a ball out there tonight if the ball's up in the way up in the air like that.
93 pitches for Cole. He's in pretty good shape right now with 1 out in the 7th.
Yeah, to this very patient Atlanta team. Well, they turned 2 double plays behind him, and that Hayward, it's amazing the way Utley or 3 double plays, amazing the way Utley and Valdez got away from Hayward twice. That guy was like a guided missile coming into second both times, and he missed them. It's amazing to watch. You know, those were double plays waiting to get broken up.
I was talking to Joe Simpson and Chip Carey. They do the television for the Braves, and they were asking about Valdez. And I said, I don't know if there's a shortstop in the league that has a better arm. Seriously. And I said, I know Sean Dunston had a great arm with the Cubs, and he probably had the best arm that I remember seeing. But I said, right now, I'm not sure if there's a guy that can throw better than him. And he's shown it tonight.
Yeah, the only guy to be close would be Tulowitzki.
That's true. Different styles,
yeah,
the way they let it go.
Well, Tulowitzki's all power. And Valdez can do a lot. He can quick release. He can fire. He can wind up and fire. You know, he's got all different release points. Tulowitzki, he just winds up and lets it go.
Well, they said, you know, what about Reyes? I said, I think it's a little stronger. And, you know, Utley and Valdez, and this has been the case all year long, they've had to gotten used to each other as a double play combination because styles are so different from guy to guy.
Oh,
he wanted that one.
Yeah, there have been some close ones. He's going to take a little walk, compose himself. He went with a high fastball, missed his spot, but I don't know if that wasn't a strike. He wanted to throw high to get him to chase, and maybe it was inside.
To the count to Diaz. To right field, not deep. Playable over toward the line. Jason Worth on the run makes the catch.
See how the wind took that ball away from him. Well, here's some of these double plays we're talking about. Look at this one. Look at Utley get out of the way of Hayward. Right there. Jumps over.
That was great.
That was amazing double play. Now here comes Chase Utley. This is an easy one, because Hayward's not out there. Now here's another one that with Hayward going. And look at this torpedo coming into second. And he missed it. He went right for the bag, and Wilson flashed across and had no contact on that, because you don't want that guy running into you.
Yeah, and Hayward did everything right, too. His arms were up flying, going in for the slide. Well, and he's 6'5".
Well, he thought he had it timed, that he was going to get him right at the bag. But he flashed across, and he missed it. You know, a lot of times they'll think, well, they're going to time it. The guy's going to flash across. I'm going to get him outside of the bag a little bit and slide out there. Those were 2 great double plays with that kind of base runner coming at you.
0-2 the count to Gonzalez. They work it away.
He was guessing change up there.
Think Carlos is crossed up at all on that pitch?
Well, Not without a guy on second, unless, you know, they did something with the location that fooled him.
No, that's where he wanted it. Unless he just really wanted to talk to him about this pitch. 0-2 the count to Gonzalez.
This guy really likes the ball middle in. He always has. And that's where he hurts you. And you see everything in this at bat's away from him. I'm not saying you can't pitch him in, because sometimes you have to get him off the plate, but you want to keep him in the ballpark. And he won't hit it out to right and right center normally. Stay out there. That was a ball, but that was a real good 2-strike pitch. And this one they might chase. You know, it's not a strike. But close enough that he might swing at it. A little trouble in some things in this inning. Howells likes to work fast, too.
Hit toward third. Skips on one hop. Polanco's got it. Throws to first in time to get Gonzalez. He was trying to buy it, but he was nowhere near the bag, and the side is retired. No runs. One hit, one man left. Cole Hamels is through 7. His defense hasn't let him down tonight. Placido Polanco's been a vacuum over there. 78 straight without an error. Wheels, what closer led the Phillies in saves in both 89 and 90?
Well, one thing you always have to do is try to look at who the opposition is. Roger McDowell.
Roger McDowell is correct. 22 and 90, 19 and 89. So you got this down.
Well, some nights it doesn't always work that way, but you know, if I'm not sure, sometimes I'll start with that process of elimination.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize packet. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
There he is. What a fun guy.
Involved in the trade that helped the Phillies to the 93 National League pennant.
Yep.
Letty Dykstra and McDowell came over from the Mets for Juan Samuel. How about Peter Moylan pitching another inning here?
How about Peter Moylan being used in the game at this one? It shows you how things have changed in their bullpen. They really like Medlin near the end now. Kimbrel, and they've got Venters, who has really come into his own near the end. Saito, of course, was at the back of the bullpen, not available now.
Polly's 0 for 3 tonight. He has an RBI, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, they'll probably have, I figure they get a left-hander up and ready, and that's Farnsworth, Kyle Farnsworth, who's back with them since the last time we saw them. Braves. He's pitched a lot against the Phillies over the years.
And the lefty is Mike Dunn.
Well, we're just going to throw the sinker and that frisbee. And he's been very, very successful. And you talk about a guy who's pitched a lot. He's had his Tommy John surgery, and then he's right back throwing a ton of innings of games again for Bobby Cox and the Braves. Very durable guy, even though he did break down once.
He is from Australia and was out of the game until the first World Baseball Classic, and he pitched for Australia. Figured to give it one more try, and the Braves signed him.
That's because they were training at Disney, where the Braves were, and Bobby Cox saw him in a workout and liked him and said, why don't we try this guy? If they'd have been training somewhere else, who knows?
What a pickup. Polanco stays alive, and it remains 3-2.
Polanco giving another really good at bat.
Only Brave ever with 280 appearance seasons.
That's what I mean. You know, this guy, it seems like you rarely get him. And the Phillies are so left-handed, you wouldn't think you'd see him that much.
In 08 is when he had the Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, that's the only reason you look at the games he's pitched this year. And as you pointed out, look at the innings tonight. This guy's different.
Ball four. Great at bat by Polanco to work out the walk.
Well, that was.
Hey, time is running out to own one of the one-of-a-kind Fanatic Around Town statues. Now, 11 statues have already been auctioned off, and you can go to Phillies.com to see what the donation was for each of those statues, because it was different. And the online auction continues through the 30th of September. The proceeds benefit Phillies charities. Go to the fan section at Phillies.com for more information. That's the real thing. I want to thank the real thing for coming out and being part of our open today. We know he has a busy schedule. And Moylan will head to the dugout. Left-hander coming on. We've got another pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Series, the Phils and the Atlanta Braves, a sold-out crowd, and the Phillies lead it 3-1 here at Citizens Bank Park. Runner at first, bottom of the seventh, and a pitching change for the Braves. Mike Dunn, a lefty, in his 18th ball game. How about no runs in 14 1/3? He can throw hard. He's walked 15 in 14 1/3.
They got him in the trade, you said, with the Yankees. Yeah, he can get a little bit wild there, it looks like. But, you know, those are impressive strikeout numbers. And that opposition batting average. He's a fastball slider guy, 93 to 96.
So he's on because Chase Utley and Ryan Howard are due up for the Phillies. Phillies trying to pad their lead in the National League East with 5 to play against the Braves and 3 against the Mets and the Nationals.
Phillies have not seen this guy, so all they can see is video on him and read scouting reports and then go up there and see what they can do.
Pitched in 4 games last year for the Yankees after pitching 26 in Trenton and 12 in Scranton. Fly ball down the left field line. Prado battling the wind. Makes the catch in foul territory.
He really got in on him with a 95 fastball.
Chase is retired. And it'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate. Ryan's had a nice night. He doubled and scored in the second. Intentionally walked in the third and then walked in the fifth. And Eric O'Flaherty wasn't really throwing him many strikes, and he was patient enough to take the walk and then leave things for the guys behind him.
Right. It was a good at bat, just for what you're saying, because he was patient, didn't get himself out.
Dunn just had a word with Martin Prado. They're probably trying to decide who will cover if there's a ball back to the mound.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he knows who that is, or if Victorino or if Polanco were to run here, and the third baseman will cover second probably. Well, he will.
Fastball and slider to Ryan Howard.
Well, this guy's got good stuff. Just what they need, another left-hander.
Ryan's done well against lefties.
Yeah, this guy's nasty, especially if you haven't seen him.
Fastball swung on it, missed. I thought he shook off fastball to go slider, but instead he looked like he shook off slider to go fastball. 2 outs. Here's Jason Worth.
Well, he's probably protecting against a slider here, even with 2 strikes, hoping he could foul it off. It's tough to foul off 96. That's impressive.
Well, now with 2 outs, Jason Worth will stand in. Braves do have Farnsworth loosening up, the right-hander, but Bobby Cox, the last time Worth was up, he stayed with the lefty because Ibanez was on deck, and he's doing it here. Jason's 0 for 2. He walked against O'Flaherty his last time up, and he takes a fastball for strike 1.
He's taking a chance here that Jason Worth will not get an extra base hit and score Polanco, and then he has the left-hander for Ibanez.
Jason met with the media today, not only to talk about that game-winning home run yesterday again, but also talk about his intentions to sign with Scott Boras as his new agent. He'll be a free agent after this year.
That upped the ante.
It's just interesting. I don't know if 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, a guy would have met with the media to discuss who his agent was going to be.
No. There was a time when there was no such thing as agents, and certainly nobody like Scott Boras.
0-1 the count to Jason. And a fastball for strike 2.
This guy's a strike throwing machine.
7 pitches, 6 strikes so far. See, now if he would have tied his shoes in between innings, everything would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Beachy.
It's his superstition. Huh?
Yeah.
I think they were very happy with what he did tonight.
Oh, unfortunately, play is stopped because some Yahoo is run onto the field. So security will take care of him. This has happened a couple of times this year.
Matt Diaz is going to get him.
Matt Diaz, the Braves left fielder,
Tripped him.
just tripped him.
Did a great job. Look at McCann laughing.
Well, while you have a moment, authenticated game use memorabilia and limited edition collectibles such as baseballs, jerseys, lineup cards, and so much more are exclusively available through the Phillies. Visit the Game Use Collectibles kiosk at Citizens Bank Park behind Section 126, or check out the Phillies Authentic Shop at Phillies.com. It's a shame that a game like this, any game, would be disrupted by a fan running out on the field.
And hopefully a lot of attention won't go to him when the media finds out who he is. There's a nice job by Matt Diaz to help
fans are cheering him.
out. Yeah.
Fans are cheering him in left field.
He's laughing about it. He did a terrific job helping out there.
And fortunately, he didn't get himself hurt.
Right. But just whoever this jerk is that just did this, let him live forever in obscurity and put him in jail and fine him, and that'll be the end of it. Don't go hunt him out and find out who he is. That's the problem with that stuff. Sorry. But
it is a shame.
It just gets ridiculous how, you give these people attention because that's all they want. And of course, we would not show that.
0-2 the count to Jason Worth. And Jason lines it to right field. That's a base hit. And Polanco stops at second. So the Phillies have 2 aboard with 2 outs, and they're going to need a clutch hit from a left-hander against a left-hander.
See, that's kind of what we were just talking about. I think with Bobby Cox is the wind's blowing in hard from left field. He's trying to. They figure they're going to keep him in the ballpark and hopefully not get a run-scoring double out of it. And then he has a left-hander in the game to pitch to Ibanez. So, he rolls the dice a little bit. Worth is on, and now he wants his left-hander to get the left-handed hitter out.
There's Kyle Farnsworth. He's been throwing in the bullpen for the Braves.
Yeah, he's up for Ruiz.
Phillies lead it 3-1. Trying to tack on another insurance run here. And a slider over at the knees for strike 1. Raul does have an RBI tonight on a ground out. Phillies have 2 runs tonight thanks to ground outs. One for 10 tonight, 5 for their last 25 in the last 2 games, but they won that game, the one yesterday, and they're winning this one 3-1. So they have had chances.
Playing a little bit towards left center, figuring they're going to pitch him away, play him away. Now they're moving over even more with Cabrera. Matt Diaz was just helping direct traffic out there in left field. He was waiting for Cabrera to come on over, getting instruction from the dugout, because they're going to stay away from Raul. And there you see how far he's come over now over to that area. He was. Well, we can't clear this. There we go. Thank you, Downs. Thank you over across the way.
In the control room.
Yeah, control room.
Ibanez, a towering fly ball to short left center field. Melky Cabrera battling the wind, and he makes the one-handed catch. The Phillies leave a couple more. 1 in scoring position. We have played 7 here at Citizens Bank Park. We go to the 8th. It's 3-1 Phils. Grab your bag. It's on. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. And by Suzuki and the new Kizashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Top of the 8th, Phillies lead at 3-1, and Cole Hamels is about to begin his 8th inning. He went 8 innings against the Padres on the 29th of August. Allowed 4 hits and no runs. Tonight he's allowed a run on 6 hits. Phillies do have bullpen action behind him. They have a righty, Ryan Matson, of course, and a lefty, J.C. Romero.
And these guys have some pretty good guys on the bench, and one of them in the on-deck circle right now, Troy Gloss, to hit for Dunn.
Melky Cabrera is the leadoff batter, and he swings at the first pitch. And it goes foul over the Phillies dugout and out of play. Cabrera tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. He struck out his last time up. There's the Phillies bullpen. Pretty durable this year. Cole is over the 200 inning mark this season, thanks to tonight's outing. In fact, he has 201 and 2/3 innings pitched. 2-1 the count. It was a great stat about Cole coming into this game. Right-handers in his last 8 starts were hitting .188 against him. And in 186 plate appearances, he struck out 54 of those batters. But he's behind 3-1 at Cabrera. In the air to left field. Raul Ibanez floats back a few steps. 1 away. And if you're counting down outs, 5 to go for the Phils.
And it's going to turn the lineup over now as Gloss will come out and hit for the pitcher Dunn in the 9-hole. There's tomorrow night's pitcher, Roy Halladay, looking on intently. He almost had one of his more disappointing games of the year when he threw that 3-run home run to this guy Gloss in Atlanta this year in that driving rain. And then the delay afterwards. And the game continued, and he wound up as a losing pitcher that night, even though he pitched, what, a third of an inning?
Yeah, Phillies lost that game 7-3. There's Roy Oswalt. He'll go on Wednesday. In all honesty, that game against the Braves, Wheels, was one of the turning points for Cole this year. Since that time, you know, he allowed 5 runs in one game and 4 in another, but beyond that, he has been a different pitcher. But he's behind 2-0 to Troy Gloss. Pinch hitting here in the top of the 8th with 1 out. Gloss hits it foul down the right field line. That'll slice out of play.
Gloss carried these guys when they got hot in May this year. Had a tremendous month, and then he got called and also hurt. And you know, they had to put him on the disabled list, send him out for a while to get some at bats. But he's a heck of a guy to bring off the bench as a pinch hitter.
Well, and since they acquired Derek Lee, there's really nowhere for him to play.
Right. Because he can't play third anymore.
Well, and there was some thought he would, but he just can't do it.
Can't throw. A pretty good change up there behind in the count.
2-2 the count. A liner to left field. Ibanez turns his body, makes the catch. 2 outs. Hamels 1 out away from getting through the 8th inning in tonight's ball game. Well, Cole Hamels' outing tonight doesn't end with the final out. Get the complete story of this ball game with former Phils All-Star closer Ricky Vitalico and player reactions on Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Sloan Toyota. That's after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Ricky was here tonight in the yard. And he's probably on his way back to the Sportsnet studios.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation here, because if he doesn't get Infante out, you wonder if they use Romero to pitch to Hayward. So get him out.
Infante's 0 for 3, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
You just don't want to find out, because Hamels deserves to get through this 8th inning. Another really good change up there.
Well, here they come, 45,000 strong. And 45,000 rally towels. 1-2 the count. He's thrown more curveballs tonight. Start the spin one more time. 1-2 the count to Infante. Turn third. One hopper to Polanco. Has the grip. Throws to first. A 1-2-3 eighth inning for Cole Hamels. How about the night for Cole Hamels and what he's been able to do against the Atlanta Braves? 1 run on 6 hits through 8 innings of work. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Phillies leading it 3-1. And Cole Hamels, a nod to Brian Carlson and a thank you as he leaves the field. Timely defense and some timely pitching.
Oh, this guy did a great job again tonight. Cole Hamels been tremendous this season. Pitched out of that one jam where he gave up 1 run, but still at first and third and nobody out. 3 double plays, 2 of them spectacular behind him. And some strikeouts here. Changeup, fastball, changeup, and the last out on the ground ball to Polanco. Now, interesting when he walks off the mound, as Tom mentioned, look what he does with Carlson. There's his final line. Says thank you. And last year in Toronto, Cole Hamels had a very frustrating game up in Toronto. And Carlson was a home plate umpire, and Cole started yapping at him as he left him out, and he ejected him.
And he was already out of the game.
Already out of the game, but that's the only time he's ever been thrown out of a game, and he was already out of the game.
Kyle Farnsworth is the new pitcher for the Braves. He still throws hard. 95 with that first pitch to Ruiz. So it'll be Ruiz, Valdez, and then a pinch hitter. Ruiz tonight, 1 for 3, a double and an RBI his first time up. Flied out to right and struck out.
These guys can bring some bullets out of that bullpen, can't they?
Kyle Farnsworth this year, 18 games with Atlanta. He was with Kansas City, and he came over with Rick Ankiel from the Kansas City Royals. A 5.40 earned run average. 19 strikeouts in 15 innings. He's always had a big arm, and his best year came with the Braves, or one of his best years.
He was a starter at one time. Phillies hit him so hard in a game when he was with the Cubs over at the old vet. And when you look at his numbers against the Phillies, they've always been skewed a little bit, I think, by that outing. They got a lot of runs off him that night. One of those fireworks games, and were early fireworks.
Swing and a miss, and a strikeout of Ruiz. One away here in the 8th. Well, for the Braves, Brandon Beachy started. He went 4 1/3, allowed 3 runs, 1 earned. Eric O'Flaherty walked 2 1/3. Peter Moylan walked 1, struck out 1 in an inning and a third. Mike Dunn walked 1 and allowed a hit, or excuse me, just allowed a hit in his 1 inning of work. And now Farnsworth.
And with
Cole Hamels going off the mound and you know, giving that thank you to Carlson. He knew he was finished. Oh man,
That get in the dugout?
yeah.
Hopefully it was slowed by the screen. Mike Sweeney, the side of the cross.
Little Pax Vobiscum.
Yeah.
All the older boy stuff. Wave the towel. Like throw him a breaking ball and speed that bat up a little bit.
Just imagine all those years without the cage in front of the dugout.
Oh, man. That would have been tough to get out of the way of that one.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Victorino's going to put his helmet on. He's in the hole anyway. Might be better suited putting it on. Just a Gase. Valdez lines it to center. And Melky Cabrera uses the wind to help out. 2 outs. Well, we've talked about this before. This beautiful ballpark can be used for so many different things, including your next special event. That's right. Call 215-218-5100. And the good folks at the Phillies Special Events Department will let you know what you can use the ballpark for when a Phillies game's not going on, or when there is a Phillies game. Again, visit Phillies.com/special events or call 215-218-5100. Ross Gload will pinch hit for the Phillies with 2 outs here in the 8th. Gload sizing up a fastball, and he swings over it, and it's 0-1. There's Brad Lidge getting tuned up in the pen. Ninth inning will be his. Look out, Davey.
He's always been quick, and he still is.
Two strikes to Gload. Wheels with Hamels' effort tonight. The Phillies are the only team in Major League Baseball with 3 starters with an earned run average below 3. Halladay 2.49, Oswalt 2.90, Hamels 2.93.
No wonder that consensus seems to be if the Phillies are lucky enough to prolong their season, they will be a formidable team to play.
No question. Rich Doobie loved the addition of Roy Oswalt for so many reasons, but it has really been a competitive run for those 3 guys, and even Joe Blatton and Kyle Kendrick. In the air down the right field line. It's going to hook, foul, and out of play.
Surprised Farnsworth will come even near middle end of Ross Gload right now. Feel free.
Swing and a miss. He went after a slider, and it's a 1-2-3 8th inning. Couple strikeouts for Farnsworth and a fly ball to center. We've played 8. That means we go to the 9th. The Phillies lead it by 2. It'll be Hayward, Prado, and Lee against Brad Lidge. Top of the ninth inning. There you see the line score. Phillies with a run in the second, 2 in the fifth. The Braves a run in the second, and that's been it. We go to the top of the ninth. The Phillies hanging on to a 2-run lead. And Brad Lidge on for his 45th game. 1 win, 1 lawsuit. But most importantly, 23 saves. A 3.40 earned run average. And he's on to get 3 outs and give the Phils a 4-game lead in the National League East. He'll have Jason Hayward, a lefty, Martin Prado, a righty, and Derek Lee, a righty, to deal with to begin the top of the ninth. Brad, in his last outing, pitched a 1-2-3 ninth against the Nationals. In his career against the Braves, 18 saves. And this is his 4th ball game against Atlanta this year. Jason Hayward, 1 for 2 with a walk. Take it all the way, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Hayward is hitting .344 here in September. He's been the Braves' best hitter here in September. And a slider swung on and missed. It's 0-2. That's a dandy of a pitch.
Yeah, this one disappears. Got ahead of him. Chases.
The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. A slider down and away. 1 gone here in the ninth.
And the whole key to that at bat, in my opinion, Tom, was strike 1. And Hayward was going to, this guy walked so much, he was going to take a strike, and he got ahead of him, and then he went slider, and got a young hitter, even as good as Hayward is, to chase, because he hasn't seen him that much. But he goes ball 1 there. It's totally different at bat.
And now Martin Prado, 0 for 3. He's grounded into 2 double plays. The first pitch just missed low, a fastball, and it's 1-0. Prado 0 for 4 against Brad with a strikeout.
Come on, Brad.
It'll be Prado, then Derek Lee. Nasty pitch. Fly ball, short right field. Jason Worth glides under it. 2 outs here in the ninth inning. Well, if you missed any portion of this game, it will encore tonight at 10:30 and tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on the Comcast Network. And Phillies coverage on Comcast Sportsnet continues tomorrow night with another showdown versus the Braves. Coverage begins with pregame live tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Those Coke Zero rally towels spinning around as Derek Lee stands in, and a slider for strike 1. Lee against Brad Lidge, 0 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. He's walked 4 times. The 0-1. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
What a groan that was. That was great.
One and 2 the count to Lee. Kept his swing on another slider. It's 2-2.
Really want to get Lee here because McCann's on deck, and you know what a clutch hitter that guy is.
Got him! Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Brad Lidge with 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Phillies are the first National League team to 90 wins here in 2000.
10. Not only that, their lead in the National League East is up to 4 games. Radledge saves it for Cole Hamels, who was outstanding tonight. And just as good as Cole was, that's as good as Radledge was here in the 9th inning. A 3-1 final score. And how about the Phillies? 29 games over the 500 mark.
90 wins. Just amazing. Close to the most wins in Major League Baseball.
Tied with the Yankees for the most wins in baseball.
It's just amazing.
And that's the most important number right there. 4 games up in the National League East with 11 games to play.
Well, they did a really good job here tonight of pitching and taking advantage of some things and getting some tough runs. W.B. Mason delivered the game. 2nd inning. Here's where Cole Hamels won the ball game. They had 1st and 3rd, a run in and nobody out. He strikes out Gonzalez, and he gets his double play ball right here off the bat of Melky Cabrera, and the Braves only led 1-0 as opposed to 2, maybe 3-0. Big job by Cole, and then he went the rest of the way into the 8th inning, or W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
And how about the night that Radledge put together? A 1-2-3 9th inning. What a slider he had. What a strikeout total he had. He's down on the field with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.
Hey, guys, thanks a lot. Slider was absolutely filthy. Staying on top of it, or you just have that much confidence with it?
A little both. I'm feeling pretty good about the way it's coming out of my hand, and I wanted to go right after this lineup. Obviously, it's a tough lineup, and you can't fool around with them, so I wanted to go right after him. Unfortunately, it worked out.
How about Cole Hamels and the way that he pitched tonight?
I mean, Cole really brought it tonight. We needed him, and he brought his A game. I mean, what can you say? That's what he always does, and he's pretty spectacular out there.
Now, 5 games up right now. You got to really be excited. First game of the series, always the most important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our goal is obviously we want to sweep them, but we want to win the series for sure. So it starts with game 1, making sure you get game 1. And now we need to take one of these next 2, hopefully both. But they're a tough team, and they'll be challenging these next 2 games. I expect to be very close.
Well, congratulations. Nice going. We'll have you on again. Guys, back to you.
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. 96 career saves for Radledge with the Phillies. Just 11 pitches. Here's pitch number 11. And the reaction as the Phillies win it.